about our team and being ready. They did a great job. Sheridan and Annie were just solid. We got the ball inside. Mercedes had a great game, and she should. We should have pounded the ball inside, and we did. And we turned our defense up in the fourth quarter. Why we waited, I don't know, but when our backs are against the wall, we did some great things on defense that gave us a lot of energy.
Questions from Coach, please. We'll start with John.
Holly, you're getting ready to go into a really difficult part of your schedule against some really good teams and teams with size too. How do you kind of assess your team, and what do you need to really get better at for this stretch, do you think?
Well, two things that we got to take care of the ball. When you turn it over, that's just an opportunity for us not to have a offensive possession. And tonight we were making a difficult pass that we should have been making easy passes. So we got to take care of the ball, number one. Number two, we got to play better defense from the start. And we've been doing that. The last week and a half, we've probably had good practices, not great. And so I think we saw a reflection of us not staying focused. And they understand that defense is going to be a key for us to rebound. We rebounded great. We rebounded the ball outstanding, but you can't give up 10 threes and you can't send people to the free throw line. So you got to be very mindful of who we're guarding and how we need to defend each individual.
Steve.
In that respect, was this game kind of a wake-up call in a way heading into that stretch, just getting this kind of challenge from a sub-500 team going into all these games against ranked teams?
Well, I'll say this. We did not consider Vanderbilt a sub-5. Their record, I think their record is not any indication of how they are. They hit great shots. They hit big shots. So we went in the game knowing that that's what they needed to do to stay in the game, and we didn't defend them. So we've got to understand game preparation, what we need to do, stick to the game plan, and we won't dig ourselves in a hole.
Maria.
Holly, you found 5 that would defend, and you
Yeah.
just stuck with them. Was that why? Because they were just clicking on defense?
Absolutely. I wasn't necessarily wasn't about our offense. It was about our defense. We couldn't get stops, and so Sheridan came in. She's one of our best defenders. Annie came in and did a good job. So we had some defenders out there that were very good. We wanted to press early. We wanted to press in the first quarter, but our players weren't very interested in that. So we waited to the fourth quarter, and I thought Jamie's hustle play that saved the ball and kicked it back and we scored was just the start of great things to happen on our press.
Coach, you had some offensive struggles from some of your players that are typically good on offense in the first half. You know, Jeremy was 2 of 9 shooting. Avina struggled throughout the game. Just how did you address that at halftime, and what adjustments do you feel like you made to change that?
Get the ball inside. Let's get the ball inside. You've got 6'6" Mercedes Russell. Get the ball inside. You're not going to have a great shooting night, but you can control how you defend. And we generally shoot the ball better, but we didn't. So then you got to crank up your defense. And we shot the ball in the fourth quarter. I don't see it, but our percentage, we shot 71%. So get the ball inside. If you're not shooting, get the ball inside or go to the free throw line. And that's what we got. We got great offensive players. It didn't happen tonight or today.
Lewis and then Laura.
Coach, you mentioned get the ball inside.
Yeah.
Your front court played really efficiently. I mean, Mercedes had a career high, and Sheridan just came in, was a huge spark off the bench. So kind of a two-parter here. With Mercedes, how fulfilling is it to see her get to this point where she demands the ball, go gets it, puts it up, no problem? And how important is Sheridan for this team moving forward in this tough schedule?
Yeah, Look, I think we've got, Mercedes is demanding the ball more, and I think we have players that understand that we need to get her the ball. And that doesn't mean, I talk a lot about playing inside out. Mercedes has got to get touches. She's got to score, and then it's going to open you up for the outside shot, and you're going to have a field day. So we talk a lot about that. But Mercedes is demanding the ball. She's stronger. See, I think it's really physical on her, and she's strong and big, and she takes a lot of the hits. But I was really proud of her for hanging tough. And Sheardine she could play a minute and have 5 rebounds. And she's just an old school basketball player to me. She's just your blue collar worker that goes to work, doesn't care. She's going to get a rebound. And doesn't care who she's going to run over to get it. We got to get her under control a little bit of driving to the basket. We've talked about that, but we came off at halftime, and I was like, "Great job." She goes, "I had those turnovers." I said, "Forget the negative. You're doing a heck of a job." I want her to focus on the positive because she's gradually just building her way back in and getting in shape, and we need her. We need her play coming off the bench.
Lauren?
Coach, it really wasn't Avina's day today,
Yeah.
but for Anastasia to step in and give you those minutes, I think at one point when Vandy called a timeout, you went right to her and gave her a big hug for something that she had done.
Yeah.
What was that? What did she do in that situation?
She
How
had
big was she again?
we're talking point guard to point guard. So she had an unbelievable pass, and it was on the money, and it got us fired up. And I know we scored, but my mind went, that's a great pass, and I wanted to make sure she knew that because it was hard, it was leading, it was a quarterback throwing it to the receiver. She caught it, laid it up, beautiful. That's just a great fast break, and I just wanted to make sure she understood that. Yeah, Vina didn't have a great game, and she's going to have those games. She was positive on the bench. She had 4 fouls, and Annie stepped in, and that's the luxury of having the depth and the experience and the players that we have, that Annie can come in. And I tell Annie, I love you coming off the bench. I absolutely love her coming off the bench because she's got energy, she's quick, she's a darter, she's somebody that we don't start off with and we don't have. So she comes in and you get a Vina Westbrook out. Now you got to guard somebody different who is quick, is fast, and attacks the basket. So I love, and Annie's getting better and better, and all that is just experience and playing time.
Mark, back.
Coach, kind of piggybacking off that, only 1 for 10 for Avina. Did it
Yeah.
seem to you like she was pressing, or is it just one of those days where the ball isn't going in the hoop? And what can she learn from this?
Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch the tape, but right now, if she took bad shots, may have been 1 or 2. I thought she was driving, she pulled up, she missed a couple of open threes. So, but I think Avina let her offense affect her defense, and we'll talk about that. But she started off with Avina's a great passer. She sees the floor. We haven't had a guard like Avina Westbrook that sees the floor and can get the ball. And she had a couple of turnovers, and we just got to get her settled down. But I was more concerned with her getting in foul trouble, and I didn't think she was as committed on the defense. She's a better defender than she played today, and if I didn't do anything, I got on her too about that. And run your team. It's your team. Run your basketball team. And Annie stepped up and did that today, and for some reason, Avina struggled a little bit with that. And so, I put a lot of confidence in them, and like it or not, they've got to step up because it is their team when we're on the floor. And they'll suggest things, and I'll run them because they're out on the floor. They see it, but you got to step up. You got to step up and run your basketball team, whether you're having a great game or not a great game. So, but she was on the bench cheering and for her teammates, and you want to see that.
Take one final question, Will.
This team seems very disciplined. They never get too high or too low. What are some things that you do personally to keep them from getting emotional? What are some things you see other players doing?
Well, there's always something you can correct. There's always something we can do better. They don't, that's just their mentality and their even keel, and I like that. They get excited about, I thought they were really fired up about, us pressing and getting baskets, but I'm okay with it. They don't get too down if somebody scores, they don't hang their head. And they've been really good at sticking with our game plan. A little lapse tonight, don't understand why, but they've been pretty focused, and I'm okay with it. I kind of get sometimes a little bit more hype than they do, but that's my personality. But look, we need all these young ladies, every one of them, and it just appears to me that every game somebody different steps up, and today was no exception.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.